What's your that was fun, but let's not do it again story? Coke. It was fun, but I can see how one can quickly become dependent. Now I drink water. I swam across the Great American River in Coloma, California after a few beers. There and back. I made it, but I nearly passed out. 3 hours later the current was a lot lower and calmer, and people were effortless walking across the rocks in the same place I swam. Duckers. Took acid at a rave. Didn't know it was acid. Started dada life while drooling. Fell asleep with my eyes open. Had some fabulous nachos. Watched my friend cheat on her BF. Someone did one of those finger light performances for me while I wore these funky glasses that made the lights look like fireworks. Cried thinking of Disney. Lost my glasses and BlackBerry. Bought a half-hood panda hat. Received so many gifts from rolled out plur people in the crowd. Watched a banana suit by Surf the Crowd. And then I ate a bag of donuts. RIP. I ran a naked 5K at a nudist resort in Florida. It was fun in a way but also very sweaty, smelly, and a bit floppy. Pooping after major surgery where they cut through my abdominal wall. Felt great to get 3 days worth of poop out. Almost split myself in half. But that post-poop feeling x1000. Cave exploring. In college. A forestry major brought 5 of us out to a remote cave. For starters, you go through a gauntlet of bats just to get in. Inside is a chamber of horrors if something was to go wrong. Choke points that you can barely squeeze through. Enormous rooms, ledges with drop-offs that look like infinity below you because your light can't see any bottom. It really hit me afterward how dangerous that was. You couldn't think of a worse place to get injured. And injuries are waiting at every turn. Going horseback riding up a mountain in Wales. Steep as hell. Horses kept losing their footing. I wanted to get off the horse but it was so steep that I didn't think I could walk back down. At the top was Offa's Dyke Path. Down one side of the mountain was England. The other side was Wales. Cool views and everything. But I knew I had to go back down. It was honestly terrifying. One time I made Kraft mac and cheese with soy milk instead of regular because we were out. It came out really sweet. I called it macaroni and cheesecake and said that it wasn't bad. But I'd never do it again. Took a U-Haul and loaded it with a picnic table and sectional couch with 20 close buddies to drive 20 minutes away to a sweet strip club. It ended up being an hour and a half away. We were not even out of town and we needed more beer. Our eyes were burning because we all were smokers. But we had not ventilation. I thought if we took turns standing to hold the door slightly open to let in fresh air, we would be good. Driver hit a huge bump just before a stoplight. And the door flew open. 3 cars behind us just saw a bunch of dudes playing cards and drinking in the back of a U-Haul scrambling to get the door shut. Surprised we never got pulled over. Great memory. But never again. Going into senior year of high school I decided to bow into peer pressure one night when my friend bet me that I couldn't drink an entire bottle of tequila. Well, the only thing I remember is the dare and throwing the bottle in the fire saying I'm done itch. Tequila commercials make me gag now. Edit, the person who bet me to do it is you penguin rocket science so I blame him. When I was about maybe 9-10 I convinced my younger cousin to slide down the stairs with me in a cardboard box. It was one of the bigger ones so we were able to both fit in comfortably. We put pillows inside and laid down head first. As we pushed off with our feet the first few steps were smooth, however we hit one step and started tumbling down stuck inside the box colon. Had sex with one of my best friends. We were both drunk and had been dancing together at this party. Then came back to my room to smoke a cigarette because it was cold out. She then said, "Want to have sex?" I said, "Yeah, sure," and she jumped on me. The sex was great and we both had a lot of fun. But we both agreed we shouldn't do it again because we didn't want to ruin our friendship and we definitely shouldn't tell any of our other friends. going about 150 miles per hour in a car I had no business driving when I was 17. Jumping railroad tracks and almost getting myself held in a truck when I was 17. Going way too fast. About 90 miles per hour. Down a curvy mountain road after senior prom when I was 17. That time when I was 17 and we thought it would be fun to sort of jump. Sort of wheelie. A four-wheeler. There was also that time on the jet ski when I was 17 and I sort of drifted around a moving boat going as fast as I could go. I could go on. But age 17 was a very dumb year for me. It's a miracle I made it to adulthood. In Vegas. Me and some buddies paid an escort to jump on a bed with us. She was reluctant at first but said she enjoyed it after. Also said that's not what she expected to do when walking into a room with 4 guys. There are pictures out there somewhere. Whitewater Rapids, West Virginia. Maybe I shouldn't have followed it up by a long trail ride on horseback. But my knees have never hated me more. The rafting was fun. And wild. Got thrown out. Choked down a mouthful of river water. But I don't need to do it again. Edit, New River Gorge. I can't recall which company we used. Bought a combo deal on livingsocial.com and did them both the same day. Lying down on the German autobahn in the middle of a summer night to feel rebellious. And how the paving is still warm from the day. Then a car comes. We just go to the side of the road. Because why would anybody care? It's a police car. We run and get away. Good times. But not doing that again. Edit, spelling. Snowboarding. I'm usually adventurous and not too unathletic. I took a lesson and then proceeded to slide down a mountain on my face for 6 hours. Not for me. But I'm glad that I gave it a shot. Edit, I get it. I would have tried longer. Only I was on a day trip. I'm also living in a warm climate hundreds of miles away from the nearest mountain. I'll have to put that second adventure off for a while. Sorry friends. Kayaking in Alabama and the water levels were about 5-6x normal flow rate. We, being a group of 5 guys, decided to go down an on-normal trail that is usually woods. The water level was so high that we were essentially midway up the trees. Well, an on-normal trail means we literally went through several trees. This was all pretty fun until one of our friends go dumped into the water and his kayak wedged into the tree branches. He proceeds to dump me in the water while trying to hang onto my boat and chaos ensues as we go riding down the current barreling into trees with nothing but a helmet and life jacket on. It took us 2 hours to get back upstream and recover his kayak. The final casualty count was a pair of flip-flops, a Nerf football, a bag of few nines, and a paddle. In retrospect it was pretty fun. But in the moment, it was pretty terrifying. I once drank a bottle of just ridiculous homebrew, with magical properties, at uni. I was on cloud 9 for a few hours. Then I tripped major gonads. When I woke up my hearing had gone and my sight was down to about 10%. My vision came back after about 2 days. My hearing 3. I was riding a motorized bicycle that a friend and I made. It went over 45 miles per gallon. Flew over curb. Got some air on a grass hill and managed to land okay. Couldn't feel my hands and feet. I have so many. But the first that came to mind was this one. My college boyfriend drove a crotch rocket occasionally. So of course he thought he was a master motorcycle rider. Rolling my eyes. His brother bought a badass Holly and said my boyfriend could take me for a quick ride down the street. I had been on bikes before. But nothing this nice. Long story short, he just completely went for it and had us flying down an old country road with tons of rocks and pebbles and debris until we reached 100 miles per hour. It was fun as hell. But he had no business going that speed. Especially on that road. When we slowed down he was telling me how he almost lost control and had no idea what he was doing. No helmets. No real experience. No brains. Just plain stupidity on both our parts. It was a great ride and I felt like we were flying. But one small bump and we'd be toast. Climbing a tall, jagged cliff by the ocean with no safety equipment. I was about 18. Alone. Wearing flip-flops. And no one knew where I was. I remember being about 3/4 up the cliff face. In a position where I could no longer climb down. And thinking. HMM. If I fell on those rocks down there, I'd probably die. Since there was nothing to be done about it, I carried on upward. No way I'd do that now. Letting my friend's friend drive me through abandoned mining areas in coal country in a souped up dune buggy. I thought he'd just take me for a spin to show it off, but ended up doing a good 30 minutes jumping off mountainsides and through ravines and up damn near vertical walls. It's a miracle we didn't mash into a tree or flip it or fall down a mine shaft or something. It was exhilarating, but I never want to do that again. I'd say pretty much my entire senior year of high school, 17 years old. My friends and I essentially made it our responsibility to be irresponsible little sheets for an entire year. We stole a 25-pound box of peanuts from Five Guys, twice. We spent hours upon hours skating and spray painting. And committing countless other petty crimes. It was as if we were very well aware that youth was coming to a close and this was our last chance to act out before we knew better. Some of the stuff we did was downright dangerous. Jumping cars over train tracks. Hitting the speed cap of my crappy car. I'm glad I did all that stuff and came out unscathed. But today I'm not about to risk getting caught doing some dumb kid stuff. I have to seek my thrills in more conventional methods. Back in my youth I was with a girl that was totally a bad influence on me. She roped me into using my man body to break into an abandoned house to have a house party. We smashed our way in. Climbed through and started casing the joint. As I was upstairs, I noticed 2 police cars pulled up. I was the only one in the house. I assumed the girls had ran off or hid. I was alone. In an abandoned house. Police were coming quick. 2 officers stayed outside. 2 came into the building. I quickly opened the window. And without even thinking, slid down the drain pipe into a sort of side garden area. The garden was totally overgrown like savanna grass. So I went all ducking lioness on that sheet and stealthed my way through the grass. On the other side of the garden was a gate that led to an alleyway which I knew would be my escape. I crawled along the ground careful. Got to the gate. Opened it. And legged it. I've never ever felt adrenaline or badassery like that before. I felt invincible. But yeah. Nah. Never again. Me and some friends went and egged cars in high school. Yeah, I know. We were dumb assholes. Anyway. We were hiding out in an abandoned and finished neighborhood entrance in order to throw them and keep hidden in the dark since it had overgrown bushes and stuff to hide in. My friend decided to throw the very last one since he bought the eggs. As soon as it left his fingers he just yelled "Oh shit." He said he saw the brush guard on the front and realized it was a cop car. We heard it hit the car and bolted. Never wanted to egg cars again. It happened last weekend. My friend and I wound up drinking all night. Playing Jenga with strippers until 5 AM. And capped off our evening by cutting some serious shapes on the dance floor in the only nightclub open. Until 8 AM. On our way back to the apartment in a cab. Extremely drunk but aware of what was happening. I thought it was about time I aggressively got the attention of people going innocently about their Saturday morning. Hey you, and after getting their attention, with many people clearly agitated, I would then compliment the shit out of them. I hope you have a great Saturday. That blouse fits you perfectly. GIRL. Get it? Hey man. You look really peaceful and have great sandals. Take care. Enjoy your life. Your dog is cute and I like your general aura. Live a great life. No one was spared by my verbal assault of compliments and well wishes. Now, when I walk around the area, I'm not sure who I harassed by way of compliments. So I'm gonna lay low for a bit. Dropped acid for the first time over summer at a good friend's house. It kicks in and I start seeing color swirls. The works. It's amazing. Halfway through my trip I had to take a shit. After I wipe for the first time, I check the toilet paper to see if it's clean. Too bad. All I can see is rainbow color swirls moving on the toilet paper. Can't tell if there's sheet on it or not. So I end up panicking and wiping with half the roll to be safe. Thankfully they had double ply, so my asshole didn't burn too much afterwards. I have a bit of a thing for exhibitionism and I have a friend who has a thing for verism. Naturally, I let the friend watch me give my boyfriend a BJ over video call. It was a fun experience and it was really interesting to be so nervous and excited I was shaking, and I have that adrenaline rush feeling that I felt the first time I had sex. But the BF and I agreed it felt weird and off and kinda cheapened the experience to share it with someone else, so we decided not to do that again. Going to NASCAR. I was never a fan but some work buddies were and I figured what the hell. It's really loud. The cars drive in circles fast and you drink a huge amount of alcohol. So it was kinda fun. But I'm all set with going again.